Hey, how are you?
Hey, doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good.
The series is great, and I wanted to ask you one thing to start off. I saw that you are actually from Alabama, so
Yeah,
did that help you get into character as Liz?
absolutely. Roll Tide.
Oh,
I yes, I was telling someone earlier, I grew up in rural Alabama. So I mean, that country girl part of me, that's like who I was for the first, probably 10 years of my life until I got made fun of a little bit for being a redneck. And then, I was like, I guess I need to talk properly. And then, I started singing when I was young. And so I sort of like started erasing my accent. And then being an actor definitely lends itself to that. But yeah, it was so exciting and like almost like validating in some way to this like inner child in me to get to play this awesome female country girl, like on
Mhm.
screen. It was really special.
Yeah, no, it felt very authentic,
Oh,
and
good.
because I was like,
And
I have to make sure she's not actually from Alabama before I talk to her. But
then you're
no,
like, she is.
yeah, um,
Nice.
because so you're like the only character that Reese like really implicitly sort of trusts. So did you and Chris work on building some sort of a chemistry beforehand, or was that like show up on set and you guys just kind of hit it off?
Sometimes it works like that. Yeah, you show up
Yeah.
and you're like, I got to play this person's wife or this best friend, and we've never met before. But in this case, we had a chemistry read as part of the audition process. But it was over Zoom. So it's like, can you really tell on, over Zoom? But the funny thing was, is like you could feel it. Like I think we all could. Um, we I like connected with him and the producers. It would just felt like it felt so right. And like it's like we all kind of saw her the same way and we connected over this idea of brotherhood and friendship and stuff. It was pretty special.
Awesome. And then did you have to actually undergo any like sort of stunt training beforehand? Because I know you're flying and then but you're also part of a lot of the flashbacks. So it's like were you undergoing any sort of training prior to filming?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, luckily they connected me with all kinds of great resources, people, right, that I was able to talk to and learn about their worlds and what it's like to be a private pilot currently, as Liz currently is a private pilot, but also to get her that background right for the
Hmm.
flashback and whatnot of what it's like to be a Kiowa helicopter pilot in the Army. So yeah, I talked to some great people in that aspect. I flew a plane. Um, which is scary. But also just really cool. I feel proud of myself about that. And then yeah, we did weapons training too. So that was great working with Ray Mendoza, our military advisor. He was like, I mean, he was particular too. So it was like I really we had to learn like the footwork and like how people move and all that. It was just super specific, but also super comforting and like it brought a lot of security that they cared so much about doing it authentically and doing justice to our men and women.
Yeah, I think that really like enhances the series because it all feels very real. And then like, now you've worked with like the other series you're working on Under the Banner of Heaven with Andrew Garfield. Now you're working with Chris Pratt, and it's like
Yeah.
these are two like very different kinds of genres that you're working with. So what was your first like foray into this big budget action spectacle like for you as
So
a performer?
actually, what's funny is I shot Terminal List before Under the Banner of Heaven. Terminal List wrapped in August, and then I started working on Under the Banner of Heaven in November. But then Banner came out first.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I hadn't done anything like action oriented. So there were times on set where I'd be like, "Hey, Chris, like, would she be like breathing really heavy right now? Is that like, do you do that when you do action stuff? Do you like, do you, And he'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think so. He'd be like, why don't you ask the director and not me? I'm like, but I want, I need you. I need you. Yeah, I mean, it was so cool to get to do. I would love to do more of that actually. The physical, as I got to do some physical stuff on Under the Banner of Heaven too. Like, there's that one scene where she's dragged out of the house and sort of like fighting and struggling, and um, I don't know what it is about the being physical and getting to move. And like, maybe it's because like a lot of times as actors on screen, you have to stand really still, you know?
Mhm.
I'm not sure, but something about that just is, it's fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Tyner. I really appreciate it. This has been great.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. Nice to meet you.